I sent my sister 800 yuan every month, without fail, until, at the dinner table, she asked pitifully, "Brother, you haven't sent me any money for 5 months." I opened my transfer history. 5 months, 800 yuan every month, down to the last cent. But the recipient was not Fang Tang. It was a stranger named Begonia in Bloom. I scrolled through her last message. "Thank you for these past few months. I think I might like you. I wanted the ground to swallow me whole." Fang Tang looked just like a little hamster gnawing on a chicken wing. She held it in both hands, her cheeks stuffed full. Mom put another pork rib in her bowl. "Look how skinny you've gotten. Are you not eating at the school cafeteria?" Fang Tang mumbled that she did eat. Then she suddenly looked up at me. "Brother." "Yeah. What is it? Did you block me?" My hand paused, chopsticks in midair. "No, why?" "Then why haven't you sent me my allowance?" She put down the chicken wing and counted on her fingers. "You haven't sent me a single cent since April. Didn't you promise to give me 800 yuan every month?" Dad cut in. "Your brother barely earns anything each month. You're lucky he gives you 800 yuan. Don't push your luck." "But he promised." "Look, the last transfer was on March 20th. There has been nothing since then." Fang Tang indignantly pulled out her phone and showed me. Our chat history was plainly displayed on the screen. March 20, transfer of 800 yuan. After that, it was completely blank. I frowned. That can't be right. I always transfer it on the 20th of every month, more reliably than my company's payroll. I opened my WeChat. I opened the bill and filtered the transfer records. The statement on screen showed, from April 20th through August 20th, 800 yuan had been transferred every 20th, without missing a cent. 5 months, for 1,000 yuan total. I sighed in relief. I shoved my phone in front of Fang Tang. "See for yourself. I didn't miss one." Fang Tang took the phone and glanced at it. Her expression slowly changed. "Brother, who is this recipient?" At that, I looked down. Recipient, Begonia in Bloom. I stared at that name for 3 seconds. My mind raced. No. Fang Tang's WeChat name was Tomorrow. I will definitely get up early. Not Begonia in Bloom. I opened the transfer details, and a profile picture popped up. It was a side profile selfie. Long hair, leaning against a library window with a gentle look. It was not my sister. It was a girl I didn't know. My mind buzzed. The table fell silent for 2 seconds. Fang Tang slowly raised her head to look at me. Her gaze was like a judge staring down a defendant. She leaned toward me, deadly serious. "Brother, are you keeping some woman on the side?" Dad's chopsticks fell to the floor. The pork rib in Mom's hand fell too. "I am not." "Then who is this Begonia in Bloom?" "I don't know. You sent her for 1,000 yuan and you don't know who she is." "I thought it was you." "My WeChat name is Tomorrow. I will definitely get up early." "Are you blind? Wasn't your name Feng Xiaodong before?" "Who told you to change it?" "I changed it back in March." "You changed your name and didn't tell me?" "I did tell you." "That is bullshit. You were playing games at the time." I opened my mouth, unable to argue. "Fine. I lost this round. Because I really had never checked the recipient. Every time, my transfer routine went like this. Open WeChat, search Tang, and pick the first result. Transfer 800 yuan, send. For the first few months, searching Tang brought up Fang Xiaodong Fang Tang herself. But at the end of March, Fang Tang changed her name, and Tang was no longer in it. Starting in April, the first contact that came up when I searched Tang became Begonia in Bloom. Someone who had somehow ended up in my contacts. I took a deep breath. Stay calm. The money problem could be fixed. I just had to explain and get the money back. Because if a normal person got a transfer from a stranger, wouldn't they at least ask, "Who are you?" Clinging to my last shred of hope, I opened my chat with Begonia in Bloom. The chat history was packed. The first message, April 20th. "Thank you, brother. Yeah, do not scrimp. Don't worry, I have been eating properly. Drink less milk tea. It isn't good for you. Got it. You need to eat on time too. I'm not a kid. Just take care of yourself." Heh. Great, just great. I thought I was chatting with Fang Tang. Those were exactly the kinds of things I usually said to Fang Tang. But seeing it with someone else in her place, a strange girl had accepted my money and called me brother. Goosebumps rose all over my body. I kept scrolling through the chat. There were even more messages, and they were far more outrageous than this. The last message read, "Thank you for these past few months. I think I might like you." It had been sent on August 23rd, and today was August 28th. That was 5 days ago. A girl I had never even met. had confessed her feelings to me, and I had not even opened the message. Fang Tang had already leaned over. After reading the words on the screen, 3 expressions flashed across her face. First, anger, which slowly turned to shock. Then she tried to hold back a laugh. Finally, she burst out laughing. Fang Tang, shut up. Brother, you're freaking amazing. You spent 4,000 yuan courting a girl and didn't even know it. I wasn't courting her. She already confessed to you. So, do you have a girlfriend now? Mom's eyes lit up. How old is she? What does she do? Let me see. Mom. By then, Fang Tang had snatched my phone. She enlarged the profile picture. As she looked, her laughter abruptly stopped. She stared at the screen for 2 seconds. Wait, this person. I know her. Everyone looked at her. Fang Tang slowly raised her head. The absurdity of it all was written across her face. This is Shen Buyu. Who is that? My classmate. She sits right behind me. That is strange. How is she on your WeChat? Fang Tang went silent for 3 seconds. Then she remembered something. Her expression fell apart too. Over the new year, I used your phone to send classmates red envelopes and holiday greetings. One added a few people. Shen Buyu was one of them. I could barely breathe, so I started taking deep breaths. 4,000 yuan. A stranger's confession. All thanks to my precious little sister. Holding up my phone, Fang Tang reread the confession. Her eyes were filled with sympathy and 200% delight in my misery. Brother, don't call me brother. What are you going to do? She confessed to you. You have to reply. I stared at the ceiling, my eyes unfocused. What was I supposed to say? Sorry, I sent the money to the wrong person. All those things I said were meant for my sister? The person you like is actually just a money transfer machine. No matter how I put it, I'm still a total bastard. Mom spoke quietly from beside me. Why not try dating first? Mom, stop making things worse. That dinner ended on a sour note. More accurately, I was the only unhappy one. The other 3 were having a great time. Fang Tang laughed so hard she got the hiccups. Want me to give you some advice? Dad said young people should handle their own affairs. Then he added, don't leave the girl hanging. Mom even followed me to my door, asking where the girl was from. I shut and locked the door, ignoring everyone. After dealing with them, I sat on my bed and pulled out my phone. The first thing I did was go through the past 5 months of chats, from beginning to end. I needed to find out just how badly this had gone off the rails. April was the first month. I transferred 800 yuan. With the note, eat properly. She replied, are you Fang Tang's brother? I replied, yes. Honestly, that seemed perfectly normal to me. I usually read Fang Tang's messages and fire off random replies. Then she replied, thank you, brother. I'll make sure to eat properly. Up to there, everything was still fairly normal. But after that, things started taking a strange turn. On April 25th, she sent a photo. It was a bowl of noodles. Look, brother, I cooked these myself today. I replied with one word, ugly. At the time, I thought Fang Tang was showing off her cooking. Her cooking was always a disaster. I was just teasing her. But from Shen Buyu's perspective, a girl carefully cooks noodles, takes a photo, and sends it to you. Calling it ugly was brutally blunt. But in a way, it is also pretty flirtatious. HMPH. Next time, I'll make prettier ones for you. Whatever you want. Just you wait. Then, in early May, she really did send another bowl of noodles. The presentation was much better than last time, with a fried egg and chopped scallions. She wrote, do they look good this time? I was at work then. I glanced at it and typed 2 words. Not bad. Can't you give me one compliment? All right. Very impressive. Happy now. Hehehe. My palms are sweating just reading this now. I thought Fang Tang was acting cute. This was no different from a young couple bickering. A shiver of goosebumps ran over me. I kept scrolling. After May's 800 yuan came through. You really don't need to transfer money every month. We agreed on this. Stop arguing. Then let me treat you to dinner. No need. Just focus on your studies. How about I send you some local specialties? Whatever. Later, I really did receive a box of handmade nougat. I even tried the pieces. I took the rest to the office to share. My co-workers even asked who had sent it. Was it my girlfriend? I casually told them it was from my sister. Thinking back, a girl had made those with her own hands, and I gave them to a bunch of slobby guys from the office. Starting in June, the chat history started making my scalp prickle. Brother, there's something I want to ask you. If you're asking to borrow money, forget it. No, a guy asked me to dinner today. Don't have dinner with men you don't know. Do you hear me? At the time, I truly was protecting my sister as her brother. But from Shen Buyu's perspective, she cautiously brought up another guy, and I immediately got forceful. Wasn't that jealousy? I kept reading. You're so fierce. I get it. I'm looking out for you. MMHMM, I know you care about me. Then she sent a heart, and I didn't reply, because I hadn't even seen it. But in her eyes, I chose silence after receiving that heart. That made me seem cool and aloof. Then something happened in July. After reading it, I nearly rolled right off the bed. My roommate says you're really good to me. Of course I am. They all say, forget it. Never mind. Say it if you've got something to say. Stop beating around the bush. They say, do you like me? She sent that message at 3 in the afternoon. I saw it at 2 in the morning. I'd just gotten back from working late. I was too exhausted to keep my eyes open. Thinking Fang Tang was joking, I replied, yeah. I stared at that one word for a full 10 seconds. I freaking replied, yeah. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Really? Really? Then I feel the same. Good night. Half asleep. I casually replied, really? After that, I never replied again. Because after seeing the words, really? I tossed my phone aside. I never even scrolled down. But from Shen Buyu's point of view, I must have seemed like the kind of man who, once he says something, never explains further. Cool, decisive, a man of action. Deeply devoted. Screw that cool, devoted man nonsense. I was exhausted. I thought I was talking to my sister. I put my phone face down on the bed, then lay face down, burying myself there for about 3 minutes, before daring to read the August messages. August was even more insane, because after we supposedly confirmed our relationship in July, Shen Buyu's attitude clearly changed. She became more intimate. She started sending selfies. I took my ID photo today. Do I look good? Not ugly. Isn't it ugly? You look pretty. Stop asking questions like that every day. Heh. Of course. Actually, lazy as I am, I hadn't even looked at it. I thought Fang Tang was just showing off. Right after that, she sent a photo of herself running on the track. One ran 3 laps today. To look a little better. Alright, stop running. As long as you don't starve. That night, she sent the photo of the moon. The moon is so beautiful tonight. Go to bed early. Don't get all sentimental. Don't you think the moon is beautiful? I think whether you have class tomorrow matters more. Alright. I'm going to sleep. You should sleep early too. Okay. Good night. Looking at these messages now, my stomach churned. An indescribable guilt surged through me. A girl had spent 5 months quietly caring for you, and you didn't even know who she was. Then, on August 23rd, she sent me that confession. Fang Xiu, there's something I've wanted to tell you. You've been helping me all these months. Sending me money. Caring whether I've eaten. Telling me to study hard. I know you may just be kind, but I still want to say this. I think I might like you. If you don't think it's appropriate, just pretend I never said anything. I'll pay back the money. After she sent that, 5 days passed without a single word from me. I put down my phone and collapsed onto the bed. As far as Shen Buyu was concerned, I was the kind of guy who led her on, then vanished. A heartless jerk who gave her the silent treatment without one explanation. This is so unfair. What the hell was this mess? I stared at the ceiling and let out a silent scream. Then Fang Tang's voice came from outside the door. Bro, are you done reading? Get lost. If you're done, tell me what you plan to do. Fang Tang, if you say another word, I'll stop sending money tomorrow. It was quiet outside for 2 seconds. You care so much about her. Don't tell me you've fallen for her. I gave a dry laugh and stayed cold. Early the next morning, before I'd figured out how to handle this, Fang Tang had already made the decision for me. Bro, I called and asked. What? Asked what? Asked who? Shen Buyu, obviously. Who else would I ask? I was brushing my teeth when I heard that. I nearly swallowed my toothbrush. When did you call her? Last night, after you shut your door. I braced myself against the sink, my temples throbbing. What did you say to her? Fang Tang leaned against the bathroom doorframe, her arms folded, wearing an extremely punchable expression. I asked her, do you know my brother well? She said she did. Then, I asked, do you know he's been sending you money? She said, of course. He sends it every month. I asked her, don't you find that strange? Why would my brother send you money? Fang Tang paused. Then she replied, didn't you ask him to? I didn't quite understand. What do you mean? Shen Buyu said that during the Lunar New Year, when I was chatting with her, She said her family was struggling financially, and life was hard. So I said, "It's okay. I'll ask my brother to help you." I stared at Fang Tang. As Fang Tang said this, her face didn't look so good either. "You said that?" Maybe I did say it offhand. Offhand, I thought it was just something to comfort her. How was I supposed to know you'd actually send her money? I wasn't sending it to her. I was sending it to you. But she thought you'd arranged it. I pressed a hand to my forehead. Great. Just great. Now it all made sense. One casual reassurance from Fang Tang. 5 months of accidental transfers from me. At first, Shen Buyu thought a classmate had asked her brother to help. But as we kept talking, it started to feel romantic. It wasn't entirely her fault either. Because the things I said really did sound like concern from her perspective. Eat properly. Don't pinch pennies. Don't go out with guys you don't know. Go to bed early. And those messages at 2 in the morning. The half asleep yeah, and really I sent. The more I thought about it, the more I wanted to punch myself. Fang Tang quietly twisted the knife. Bro, in her eyes. You're the man who sends her money on time every month. Makes sure she eats, helps her turn down other guys. And personally admitted that he likes her. That yeah was because I was tired. I know that. But she doesn't. Fang Tang looked at me. Like I was beyond saving. If you don't reply now, she'll think you're giving her the silent treatment. If you tell her the money was sent by mistake, she'll think you're a jerk. If you say these 5 months were all a misunderstanding, she'll feel like a complete joke. I threw my toothbrush into the cup. Thanks for your analysis. That was incredibly helpful. Fang Tang took out her phone. Why not just call her? No. Send a message. Even worse. Then, what are you going to do? I looked at myself in the mirror. I looked half awake, with dark circles from working overtime beneath my eyes. No matter how I looked at it, I didn't seem like someone who could handle a relationship problem properly. But I couldn't put this off any longer. I'll tell her in person. Fang Tang's eyes lit up. Perfect. School starts for me next Monday. Drive me to school, and settle this while you're there. I was about to nod, when I suddenly realized something. When you called her last night, did you tell Shen Buyu the money was sent by mistake? The smile froze on Fang Tang's face. I didn't get the chance. So, what does she think now? Fang Tang's voice grew quieter. Maybe she thinks I was checking on her for you. I took a deep breath. Fang Tang. Yeah. From now on, can you please stop helping? She finally behaved herself. Monday came far too quickly. I drove Fang Tang back to school. I looked icy the whole drive. Fang Tang, meanwhile, was in high spirits. From the passenger seat, she told me about Shen Buyu. Shen Buyu is a really nice person. She's quiet, and she's pretty too. She gets great grades and earns a scholarship every year. Fang Tang. Say one more word, and I'll cut your allowance in half this semester. She immediately shut up. When we reached the school gates, Fang Tang was still worried before getting out. Bro, what are you going to say? I gripped the steering wheel, my palm slightly sweaty. Tell her straight. Apologize. Settle the money issue. What about her confession? I was silent for several seconds. I'll be honest about that too. Fang Tang looked at me and sighed. Don't be too blunt. Shen Buyu gets embarrassed easily. After she left, I sat in the car for 10 minutes, typing a message, then deleting it. I typed another, then deleted that too. In the end, I sent only one sentence. About the transfers, I want to explain everything to you in person. Are you free today? After sending it, I stared at the screen, my heart pounding louder than it had at my first job interview. 3 minutes later, the avatar name Blooming Crabable lit up. I'm free. Can we meet outside the library? At to this afternoon. I replied okay. Waiting from morning until 2 in the afternoon felt more exhausting than 2 weeks of work. At 1:58, a girl walked toward the library entrance. She wore a white t-shirt and jeans, with a light blue canvas bag, her long hair tied in a low ponytail. She kept clutching the bag strap as she walked. She looked just like the person in her profile picture. But standing in front of me, she seemed even quieter than in the photo. She stopped about 10 feet away from me, looked up at me once, then quickly looked away. Hello. I'm Fang Tang's brother, Fang Xiu. I know. Her voice was very soft. Is this about the transfers? I nodded, as if she'd been expecting it. She lowered her head and said, You haven't replied to me these past few days, so I guessed. Maybe I said something wrong. No. If you think it's inappropriate, I understand. That's not the issue. I cut her off, a weight pressing against my chest. Shen Buyu, those transfers over the past 5 months. I sent them to the wrong person. She looked up. Her whole body went still. On the 20th of every month, I transfer Fang Tang her allowance. At the end of March, she changed her WeChat name. When I searched for Tang, your account came up. I thought I'd been sending it to Fang Tang all along. A breeze swept past the library entrance. Her ponytail swayed gently. What about those messages? My throat felt dry. The messages asking if you'd eaten, telling you not to go out with guys. I thought I was talking to my sister then too. She said nothing. Her fingers clenched the canvas bag strap until they turned purple. What about that in July? Her voice was so low I could barely hear it. I saw the message at 2 in the morning. I was too sleepy to read it properly. That day, I thought Fang Tang was joking. Shen Buyu lowered her head. After a long while, she gave a faint smile. It was a fleeting smile. The corners of her mouth barely lifted before falling again. I understand. I'll return the money. 4,000. There's no rush. I'll transfer it today. She looked up at me. Her eyes were a little red, but not a single tear fell. Thank you for telling me. With that, she turned and left. Her steps were quick. The canvas bag knocked against her leg with every step. I stood where I was, opening my mouth, but in the end, I couldn't call out anything, because I didn't know what else I could say. Sorry felt too small. Saying I hadn't meant to was pointless. For 5 months, she'd taken it as a sincere response. Yet all I could tell her was, you misunderstood. At first, I didn't even know who you were. My phone vibrated in my pocket. WeChat transfer. 4,000. The note contained only a period. A round little period, as though it had sealed away all 5 months. I went back to the car and slumped over the steering wheel without moving for a long time. 10 minutes or so later, the passenger door opened. Fang Tang got in, watching me carefully. Did you tell her? Yeah. How did she react? She returned the money. 4,000. Fang Tang fell silent. After a while, she finally spoke. The matter is settled, isn't that good? It is. Then why do you look like that? I closed my eyes, my forehead against the steering wheel. The car fell quiet. Then my phone chimed again. Message after message came from Mom. Son, how's that girl? She goes to your sister's school, right? What was her name again? Should I prepare a gift for when we meet her? I stared at the screen, my temple throbbing again. Fang Tang leaned over for a look, then couldn't hold back her laugh. You're laughing? She cleared her throat. It wasn't me. The whole family heard it at dinner last night. And you've underestimated Mom. She already posted it in the family group chat last night. I slowly turned to look at her. What did she post? Fang Tang imitated Mom's voice. I think my son has a girlfriend. She's one of Fang Tang's classmates. It isn't confirmed yet, so everyone keep it quiet. I nearly crushed my phone. Keep it quiet. In the family group chat. Do those two things even belong in the same sentence? Fang Tang kept twisting the knife. Second aunt said I'd finally come to my senses. Annie said I should bring the girl home sometime. My cousin sent a whole row of firecracker emojis. I slammed my forehead against the steering wheel. The horn gave a short blast. Passing students all looked over. Fang Tang quickly patted my arm. Bro, calm down. We're in public. I ignored her. I opened Shen Buyu's chat. I wanted to send the money back. But before I could transfer it, a line of red text appeared on the screen. You are not this user's friend. I stared at those words. It felt as if someone had tapped my heart with their knuckles. Not hard, but it left a dull ache. Fang Tang saw it too. Her voice softened. She deleted you. I gave a quiet hum. She came to see me between classes this afternoon. I looked up. Why did she come to see you? To apologize to me. She said, I'm sorry. Fang Tang, I didn't know that money was your allowance. If I'd known, I never would have accepted it. I said nothing. Fang Tang hugged her backpack, unusually not joking around. She also said she would never bother you again. The car suddenly became even quieter. After a long time, Fang Tang said again, Bro, Shen Buyu has had it pretty hard. I looked ahead. Her family doesn't have much money. She usually eats the cheapest meal at the cafeteria. In winter, she rotates just to coats. She doesn't tell anyone, but we live in the same dorm building. After a while, everyone could tell. My grip slowly tightened on the steering wheel. Fang Tang's voice grew even softer. Those 5 months with you might really have been the happiest 5 months of her life. I started the car. The whole way, neither of us spoke again. Over the next few days, life seemed to return to normal. I went to work, attended meetings, worked overtime, then went home at night to shower and sleep. No more messages from Begonia and Bloom appeared on WeChat. Even that chat thread I deleted. It was quiet, alright. But sometimes it was too quiet. During lunch break on Wednesday, my coworker, Old Zhao, sat beside me with his lunchbox. Fang Xiu, do you have any of that nougat from last time? It was really good. My chopsticks paused halfway to the food. No, your sister made it. She's pretty good at it. I gave a non-committal hum. After Old Zhao left, I had no appetite. I took out my phone and scrolled through my photos. There was a photo from late May. A box of nougat wrapped in brown craft paper, tied with a thin pink string. A small label was stuck in one corner. I thought the packaging looked nice then, so I snapped a picture. I hadn't given it a second thought. But when I zoomed in now, there was a neat line of tiny writing on the label. Hope you like it. Buyu. Every stroke had been written with care. I stared at that message for a long time. Finally, I set my phone face down on the table and kept eating. The food had gone cold. It tasted like nothing as I chewed. Friday night, Tang called me. Bro, what is it? When will you send my September allowance? The 20th. You sure you've got the right recipient this time? Say that again. I dare you. She immediately changed her tune. Alright, bro. I won't say it. The other end went quiet for 2 seconds. Then she couldn't hold it in any longer. There's something else. What? Our school has a food festival next week. Shen Buyu signed up for a handmade dessert stall. My hand froze in midair, remote in hand. Why are you telling me this? Nothing. Just letting you know. I don't need to know. You don't. Her tone was utterly perfunctory. Oh, and it looks like she's making nougat again. She hung up. I sat on the couch, staring at the dark television screen. I didn't move for several minutes. I picked up my phone, then put it down, then picked it up again. I opened my contacts and searched for Shen Buyu. Nothing. I searched for Begonia in bloom. Nothing there either. She really had erased me completely from her life. I opened my chat with Fang Tang. Do you have Shen Buyu's number? Fang Tang replied instantly, as if she'd been waiting by her phone. Yes, want it. I stared at the screen. I typed, send it to me, then deleted it. I typed, never mind, then deleted that too. In the end, I sent, send it over. Fang Tang immediately sent a string of numbers, followed by, bro, you finally get it. It's not that I've finally gotten a clue. I just want to clear up the money issue. Right? Clear it up. I get it. Fang Tang. Yeah. If you dare tell her anything beforehand, your allowance is cancelled for the semester. I swear. My lips are sealed. 2 seconds later, she sent another message. But bro, I suggest you don't call her. Why? If an unfamiliar number calls and she realizes it's you, it'll only be more awkward. Then, what should I do? Go to the food festival. You're my brother. Come visit me at school. Browsing around while you're there is perfectly natural. I looked at the number, then at the box of nougat in my photo album. I remembered that period. I remembered her turning away outside the library, her steps brisk and steady, though her hand never loosened from her bag strap. I replied with one word, okay. After sending it, I entered the number in my contacts. I lingered over the name field for a long time. Shen Buyu felt too formal. Begonia in bloom made it seem like I was still trapped in that misunderstanding. In the end, I didn't save the contact. I only saved a screenshot of the number to my favorites. Tang soon sent me a map of the food festival stalls. Third from the end in the second row. Third from the end in the second row. She'd marked it with an enormous red circle. Beside it was a message. Don't get lost. Don't chicken out. And don't lead with the money. I stared at those 3 don'ts for a long time. For once, I didn't curse her out. Before bed that night, I looked through that nougat photo again. The pink string, the brown craft paper box, and those words, hope you like it. I set my phone face down on the nightstand, then set an alarm for 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Before the screen went dark, I caught my reflection. I didn't look like I was going to return her money. I looked like I was making up for a meeting long overdue. Early Saturday morning, I changed outfits 3 times. The first was too formal, like I was going to a job interview. The second was too casual, like I was just heading downstairs for groceries. The third was a black polo with dark casual pants. At least I looked halfway decent. After staring in the mirror for 5 minutes, I rolled my sleeves up to my forearms, then cursed myself again. You're only buying a box of nougat. What are you so nervous about? When I drove to the school entrance, Fang Tang was already waiting for me. She gave me a once-over, with an especially smug look in her eyes. You even put on cologne. It's the car air freshener. Oh, car air freshener. Got it. I couldn't be bothered with her. A row of tents had been set up on the school field. Colorful pennants were strung everywhere. The place was packed with students. Some held milk tea, while others carried paper plates. The air was thick with the scent of grilled sausages and desserts. Fang Tang led me inside, pointing to the third-to-last stall in the second row. Over there. I followed her finger. A checkered tablecloth, clear containers, a sign read, Buyu's Handmade Treats. A girl sat behind the stall, her head lowered, wrapping candy in wax paper. Her hair fell over half her face. Her fingers were slender, and she tied every knot with care. Those words were exactly the same as the ones on that box of candy in May. Fang Tang nudged me with her elbow. Are you planning to stand here and stare at the sky? You go on ahead. If she sees you, she'll know I came here specifically for her. Fang Tang narrowed her eyes. Didn't you say you were just passing by? I gave her a look. Do you still want this month's allowance? She turned around at once. I'll wait for you at the milk tea stand. After taking 2 steps, she looked back. Bro, don't be so blunt. I didn't answer. Once she'd gone some distance, I stood there for around 2 minutes, before finally heading toward the stall. 2 girls were buying candy ahead of me. Shen Buyu smiled as she packed their boxes. Her movements were practiced, and her voice was soft and gentle. When it was my turn, she looked up. Hello, would you like a box? Halfway through, her smile froze. She recognized me. In that instant, surprise and panic flashed in her eyes, along with a trace of embarrassment she couldn't hide. Quickly, she lowered her head and straightened the boxes on the table, though they had already been perfectly arranged. Why are you here? I brought my sister back to school and stopped by. Oh, she picked up the tongs. What flavor would you like? We have original, matcha, and cranberry. Which one do you recommend? Her hand paused. Matcha sells well. Then matcha. She began filling a box. I noticed her fingertips trembling, only slightly, but when the candy wrappers touched the edge of the box, they made a faint rustling sound. How much? 15. I scanned the code and paid. She handed me the box. She didn't look at me. Her gaze stayed on the table. Thank you for your purchase. I took the box, but didn't leave. She waited 2 seconds, then realized I was still standing before her stall. She had no choice but to look up. Would you like anything else? Shen Buyu. Her lashes trembled. Everything I told you last time was true. Her lips pressed tightly together. I know. You don't need to say it again. I didn't come to say it again. Then why did you come? I set the box of matcha nougat back on the table. That box of candy you sent to my office in May was delicious. She froze. I didn't read the label carefully then. I even told my coworkers my sister had made it. Her eyes slowly reddened. She lowered her head and reached for a bag beside her. It's fine. It's all in the past anyway. It isn't in the past. Her hands stilled. I looked at her. The knot in my chest that had been there for a week finally found a way out. I want to apologize to you. Not just for sending the money to the wrong person, but for these past 5 months. For everything you earnestly sent me. I never truly took any of it to heart. That bowl of noodles. That box of candy. The photos from your runs. And the moon that night. Stop. Her voice suddenly changed. Don't say any more. She turned away, quickly wiping the corner of her eye with the back of her hand. Students passed by nearby. She panicked even more, lowering her head and clutching the edge of the tablecloth. Did you come just to humiliate me? No. Then what do you want? I remember the last line of her confession. If you don't think we're right for each other, pretend I never said anything. I don't want to pretend you never said it. Shen Buyu suddenly looked up. What do you mean? My heart was pounding, but I'd already come this far. If I backed down now, I'd be a real coward. Those 5 months began with a misunderstanding, but these past few days, I've thought about you every day, wondering what your noodles taste like, wondering how beautiful the moon you photographed that night was, wondering, after you sent that confession, and waited 5 days, whether you checked your phone every time its screen lit up. Her tears fell at once. One splashed onto the checkered tablecloth, spreading into a tiny spot. Didn't you say you sent it to the wrong person? I did send it to the wrong person. I gripped the candy box in my hand, but now I know I sent it to the right person. She looked at me, her eyes bright red. How can you be like this? I know I've been a real jerk. That's not what I mean. She sniffled, afraid someone would see, and quickly turned her back. Don't say this here. Everyone is watching. Then shall we talk somewhere else? She didn't answer. I glanced at the candy left on her stall. What time do you close up? Her head remained lowered, her shoulders still trembling slightly. After a long while, she finally answered softly, 5. I'll pick you up at 5. She neither agreed nor refused, but her ears were visibly red. I picked up the box of matcha nougat, turned, and walked away. After about 20 steps, my phone started vibrating nonstop. How did it go? How did it go? How did it go? I'm going crazy waiting at the milk tea stall. I texted her back. Send me your account details. She replied instantly. Why? I'll make up this month's allowance. Really? Wait, does that mean it worked out? I didn't reply. I opened the candy box and put one piece in my mouth. It tasted like matcha, almost as sweet, sweeter than the box from May. At 5 I returned to Shen Buyu's stall. She was already packing up. She put the unsold candy into a canvas bag, folded the tablecloth neatly, and carefully placed the cards into a cardboard box. When she saw me approach, her hands paused for a moment. Then she quickly lowered her head and kept packing. Let me help. No need. Before she could finish, I'd already stacked the cardboard boxes beside her. She didn't refuse again, but packed even faster, as if she wanted the place cleared within 3 minutes. After storing everything in the club office, we walked side by side toward the campus gate. Neither of us spoke. It was noisy by the sports field. Some stalls were still calling out promotions, and students were taking photos. But the small space between us was so quiet, as if it had been set apart from everything else. She walked more slowly than usual. The canvas bag looked a little heavy. Several unsold boxes of candy stuck out from its opening, gently bumping her leg every couple of steps. I reached out to take it, but she shifted away. I didn't try to take it again. I only slowed my pace too. The walk from the stall to the campus gate wasn't long. Yet for the first time, I felt some words couldn't be rushed. I had to wait until she was ready to stop and hear them. When we reached the campus gate, she finally stopped. Fang Xiu. Yeah. Are you really serious about this? I am. She looked at the cracks between the paving stones. A week ago, you said it was all a misunderstanding. It was a misunderstanding. I looked at the canvas bag in her hand. But this past week, I've figured something out. Figured out what? Why? After my phone went quiet, I couldn't get used to it. Why? When my co-workers asked about nougat, I kept scrolling through my photo album for so long. Why? When Fang Tang told me you had a dessert stall, I immediately wanted to come. She turned her head away. The corner of her mouth twitched slightly, as if she wanted to smile, but didn't quite dare to. How much do you even know about me? Not much. Then what gives you the right to say that? You're right. She was taken aback. That is why I want to start getting to know you now. She didn't respond. So I asked again. Are you free tonight? Let's have dinner. Shen Buyu stood at the campus gate, finally looking directly at me. Her eyes were still a little red, but she no longer looked as hurt as she had that morning. She thought for a moment, then held up one finger. I have one condition. Go ahead. You are not allowed to call me Fang Tang anymore. I couldn't help laughing. I won't ever call you that again. She held up a second finger. And you are not allowed to pay back those 4,000 yuan. I've already accepted it. Then let it count as me treating you to meals for 5 months. She turned her face away. Her voice grew quieter. As for after that, we'll talk about it later. I looked at the tips of her blazing red ears. A sudden wave of relief washed over me. Not the relief of something being over, but the relief of finally being able to take another step forward. Where should we eat? You choose. She thought for a moment. There's a noodle shop by the campus gate. I go there often. Noodles. Yeah. The ones I make don't look very good, but theirs look pretty nice. Yours don't look bad either. She immediately shot me a glare. That isn't what you said back then? Back then, I thought you were my little sister. So that means you can call your sister's cooking ugly? What's the point of having a real sister if you can't tease her? She finally smiled. Not that forced smile from outside the library, but a real smile that reached her eyes. My phone vibrated. Fang Tang had sent a voice message. I hadn't meant to play it, but my finger had already tapped it. Are you on a date with Shen Buyu? Are you? My allowance. My allowance. My allowance. When Shen Buyu heard her own name, she froze for a moment, then covered her mouth and laughed. I held down the voice message button and replied, I've sent your September allowance. Don't search for Tang again. Fang Tang replied at once. You searched for Tang, so you found my sister-in-law, didn't you? Ha ha ha. Shen Buyu's face instantly turned scarlet. She's talking nonsense. I slipped my phone back into my pocket. Yeah, I know. She glanced at me, as though she wanted to argue, but didn't know where to begin. The noodle shop was in a narrow alley just outside the campus gate. It had 4 tables. The owner was a plump, middle-aged man. A handwritten menu was posted on the wall. Shen Buyu ordered tomato and egg noodles. I ordered beef noodles. After we sat down, she kept her head down, arranging the chopsticks. I spoke first. What year were you born? 2001. A year older than Fang Tang, and 4 years younger than me. 3rd year. Yeah, Chinese literature. That explains it. Explains what? You never use abbreviations when you text, and every sentence ends with a period. She looked up at me. You noticed. I notice now. Before, I thought Fang Tang had suddenly become artsy. She burst out laughing, then quickly lowered her head again. When the noodles arrived, she ate very quietly, taking tiny bites. Her chopsticks never even touched the rim of the bowl. The complete opposite of Fang Tang. When Fang Tang eats noodles, the next table would think someone was slurping through a drain pipe. Halfway through the meal, Shen Buyu suddenly put down her chopsticks. Fang Xiu, there's something I want to make clear too. Yeah, those 5 months, I didn't develop feelings for you because of the money. I know. No, you don't. She looked at me seriously. When I received the transfer that first month, I really thought Fang Tang had arranged it to help me. My grandma was in poor health then, and money was tight. Then, in the 2nd and 3rd months, I gradually realized something was off, because Fang Tang never mentioned it. Then why didn't you ask? She lowered her head and stirred the noodles in her bowl. Because you would talk to me. You told me to eat properly and not scrimp on food. You asked if I had too many classes and told me to drink less milk tea. No one had ever cared for me like that growing up. After my parents divorced, I lived with my grandma. She was getting old, so I had to handle a lot on my own. Then suddenly, there was someone who showed up every month right on time and remembered all those little things so carefully. She paused. I couldn't bear to ask. Steam rose from the noodle soup. Her eyes grew misty again, but this time, she didn't look away. I put down my chopsticks. I don't think you did anything wrong. She looked up. You don't need to comfort me. I'm not comforting you. I looked at her. If anyone should apologize, it should be me. She lightly bit her chopsticks, then asked me a question. What? I asked her. Do you regret confessing to me? Shen Buyu thought for a long time. People came and went through the noodle shop entrance, making the plastic door curtain rustle. Finally, she shook her head. No regrets. Then that's all that matters. She froze for a moment, then smiled. You talk just like you text. How so? You're very direct. She paused. But it's reassuring. I picked up a piece of beef and put it in her bowl. She stared at the beef for 3 seconds. I asked, you don't think I put that in your bowl on instinct because I'm used to doing it for Fang Tang, do you? She lightly kicked me under the table. It was very gentle, but I felt it. After we finished our noodles, I walked her back to her dorm. Outside her dorm building, she clutched the strap of her canvas bag, standing at the entrance without leaving. Shen Buyu, add me back on WeChat. She blinked. Just search my phone number. You add me. Why? You deleted me last time, so you have to add me back this time. She glared at me, but still took out her phone. My WeChat vibrated. Friend request. Begonia's in bloom. I accepted it. I first changed her contact name to Shen Buyu. Then, after thinking about it, I changed it to Buyu. She leaned over and saw it. Her face immediately turned red. Who said you could save my name like that? It's my phone. I decided. She couldn't do anything about me. So she turned and headed into the dorm. After 2 steps, she turned back. Fang Xiu. Yeah, don't send my allowance to the wrong person again. Holding back a laugh, I said. From now on, if I search Tang, you're the only one I'll be looking for. Her ears turned even redder. She turned and swiped her card to enter. Maybe she was walking too fast, but the turnstile bumped into her. Rubbing her hip bone, she looked back and glared at me, as if saying it was all my fault. I stood downstairs, laughing for quite a while. On my way back, Fang Tang messaged to remind me again. Where's my September allowance? I opened WeChat and searched Tang. First result, Buyu. Second result, I'll definitely get up early tomorrow. I transferred 800 to Fang Tang. Confirmed recipient, Fang Tang. After the transfer, I opened my chat with Buyu again. Did you get to your dorm? 10 seconds later, I'm here. A few seconds later, good night. I looked at the screen and replied with 2 words, good night. This time, I was fully awake. I wasn't so sleepy at 2 in the morning that I could barely keep my eyes open. It wasn't a casual brush-off sent to Fang Tang. It was sincere, sent wholeheartedly to Shen Buyu. The screen soon showed. The other person is typing. Then it stopped. It appeared again, then stopped again. In the end, she sent a moon emoji, just like that night in July. This time, I saw it. I replied with a sun. It meant,